Welcome to Transformations, interviewing people changing our world. I'm your host, Diane J. Shaver, and with every interview, I demonstrate all it takes is one person, one decision, one commitment. You've got a world changer. And the people I interview are not any different from you and me, but what happens is they have a desire that's so strong in them that they just go for it. They may start out alone, but as they keep going, then other people join in and it becomes a larger organization. So just keep that in mind. So today I have the privilege of interviewing a man who is doing something phenomenal. And his name is Daniel Tillias. And he's the executive director and co-founder of SAKALA in Citie Soleil in Haiti. And he grew up in Citie Soleil, which is one of the worst areas in Haiti. And he had a mother who made sure that he wasn't get caught up in all the violence. So there was gang violence, there was violence from the Duvalier regime, there was interference by the military and paramilitary. But Daniel persevered, and he decided he was going to go to law school and come back and help people in Haiti. He went to law school, he came back, but he found out that the judicial system was not helping people. So in 2010, he founded the Community Center for Peace and Alternatives called SAKALA. But I want Daniel to tell you about it, and he has so much to share with us. So please help me welcome Daniel Tillias. Welcome, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Diane, for having me in the show, which is really fitting well with what we try to do and promoting the power of one. And my version of this, like in Creole, is Force Yon Grain. And it's actually like my name on Instagram and also on Twitter, the power of one. And we're very glad like to have this opportunity to share a story of transformation, starting like in Citie Soleil as a place with a lot of challenge, but with one person thinking that we can make a difference, really put hands on the work, and now we're making a huge difference with hundreds of children having access to education, having access like to play sport, having access like to a safe space, and having access like to be children with dreams. And like I wrote it in the book, I Can Fly, having access like to fly. And I believe that it's one thing that all children deserve. And now we're very proud of the work that we're doing. The power of one lead to more and more people committed like to make a difference in their lives, but also in the community. And like we always like to say, the new beginning for Haiti is starting where no one would think it were possible, which is Citie Soleil.
Wow. So that's so powerful. So what was happening to kids growing up in violence? What happens to children that are exposed to sustained violence? What happens to their little bodies, to their minds, to their feeling about life?
I like to say with like sustained violence in the community, there are some clear paths. And one of it like is you get caught in the middle of crossfire and you get like paralyzed or you get killed. Like the police, like if they are really lucky, might catch you and you ended going in jail. You may find it's too much for you in Citie Soleil to have as much chance that I thought that I really have in my life and turn into a very good person like I am. It's really not modest, I know, but that's really what I wanted to. It's really give children the opportunity that I had, so it will be giving them as much chance that I decided that life gave to me, and that's why I started it. And so far, it's like I see some of the children turning even better person than I am, and I'm very grateful about this.
So what were the first programs that you did when you started SAKALA? What were the first things that you offered to the children? And how did you reach them?
So when we noticed after some very difficult time in Haiti that like armed group proliferations like became like a real issue, and people inside of the larger community of Citie Soleil were fighting against each other. Lower part of Citie Soleil couldn't go in upper part of Citie Soleil, vice versa. We wanted to have a bridge, and the perfect bridge that we have thought of was sports. And as soccer is the American football of Haiti, like really where like everyone lose their mind when there is a game going, we were like, let's use like soccer like to connect the people, and let's use soccer like to get like children a chance to feel that they are actual human beings somewhere who are valued, who are enjoying life, and who have the respect from a coach and so on. So that's why the first program that we consider was to start like a soccer team that we named after unity and Creole union. And this team allows us like to gather children, because whenever that you throw a ball in the air, there's already 10, 20 kids waiting to be the first one who kick it.
I love it. And then from there, did it grow into something different? Did it stay for soccer for quite a while? What happened? What was the evolution?
So with the soccer program, we understood that these children really needs more. And that's when we started like to have a programs like a education, like after school program, where big like younger kids get support from older one with the homework assignment, and also their a school like a lesson. So through the education, we understood that education is the one thing that would change these people, these children, a future. And after education, we felt that there is a need for something right away. And that's when we add the component of agriculture. So these children could have access to food, but not only just food, but good food, organic food, but also food that they also make themselves. So agriculture became like a real component of a program. And later on, we added like a component of community service. So these children understand that they receive a lot to really create like a new path or an alternative for them. So it's time for them like to give back. And that's why all of four component right now is really the sport program, because it's more than soccer right now, because we do baseball, American football, basketball, volleyball, ping pong, a racetrack, and it's like name it, and we doing it, and we have some very good athletes like involved in this, and we continue to do like our education component, like sending kids to school, providing scholarship, doing after school program, and then now we have like the largest urban garden in the country, where these children contribute to make their own food, but also to make food that they can share with people, but also to pass the knowledge on growing locally for the community, and this kind of like concept of community service, where they will be involved in everything that can help transform themselves, but also transform the community.
Wow. That's so empowering for them. I mean, you've empowered them on every level, because they did sports, so they belonged to a team, and they could grow their own food, and they could help other people. That's very powerful. Did you see all of this as lessening the violence? Is there less violence in Citie Soleil now as a result of all of this?
Definitely yes.
Yay.
Four years in a row, we had a statement from the police department that said clearly that Citie Soleil was the safest neighborhood of the country.
Wow.
Not that the guns were gone, but it's like even the guys who were involved in the like armed traffic or violence learned from what we did. And they came to us, tried to copy our model, and started like community center like from a model, And this like created a situation where like Citie Soleil was really calm. This year we had like a situation where for 2 months there was a little a situation where it was like the violence was trying like to start again. But what's interesting is like many of these guys involved in the violence invited me in meetings so I could be the kind of mediator to say, you know what, Daniel, you really invest a lot for years in this. We really don't want to go back to the growing violence that we experienced before. What can be done? And we sat down, talk about this, had a few games, and now again there is situation in Haiti all over. But Citie Soleil, that normally is the place where people always refer to as the like neighborhood for violence, is not in the list where shooting is happening. So this is to tell that our program really contribute to create a really peace environment for this place, and we're very grateful about this and very confident that it has a lot to see with our effort.
And it strikes me, I mean, you did all the right things. You gave kids a place to belong, that's what gangs did originally. But also you sat down and you talked with all kinds of people. And these are the things, if we could do this on a larger scale throughout the world, we'd be great. So it sounds like you're doing all the right things. And I noticed that you have like, I don't know how many awards. So talk about some of the awards that SAKALA has gotten. There were so many, I couldn't believe it.
So I don't want to go into this, Diane, because it could take the whole show.
That's great. I hope.
No. It's me again. This is not my day of modesty. Sorry about that, Diane, because it just happened that we had like a few of them, and I think over the years, like we have had like recognition like from like a local groups, like the Toto company, which recognized our garden as like the best community garden in the country. We have been like nominated as the architect of the future in Vienna, Austria in 2012. We have been nominated as for the like peace Martin Luther King Jr. Award, like in New Jersey. We are right now like the CNN Hero 2019. We have been like social entrepreneur of the year in 2015. Again, I don't want to go like with all this long list, but what is important is now a kid in Citie Soleil know that it's possible. Yeah. When it is like the opportunity, the right opportunity, there is opportunity for all dream to become true. And that's what is happening, because people are seeing a sort of like recognition, are giving a recognition like to what we're doing in Citie Soleil, and young youth and young kid in Citie Soleil see that they're worth way more that people are referring to, and they feel that they have this chance to do more. And we believe children should have like more chance like this everywhere in the world, because when they do get this kind of recognition, when they get this kind of opportunity, that's when their dream becomes true. That's when they really go beyond themselves and create an environment for progress and for community development.
I mean, that's so phenomenal. The world is taking notice. And for those kids, I would imagine from where they came from what you had said before, this is phenomenal. So what's the vision now for SAKALA going forward? What do you want to change, add, keep? What's the vision?
Now our big vision is that like we can really like build on a model for peace with like other communities that unfortunately are experiencing situations of violence that is creating like too much of suffering. Our dream or vision is that there could be more peace in Haiti, using like a projects or a model like SAKALA to give children and young adults the opportunity to live a decent life of dreaming big, but also getting the right tool, the good instrument to move from this perspective of being a zero, nothing, and become a hero like we have been nominated for.
I love that. So going forward, do you see a lot of the kids going through this program emerging as leaders, people who are going to take over and start creating even more places for children?
No doubt about this. And I like to tease them saying that I can see you walking on the right path, because it's like you're making my retirement plan like moving fast. And I like this because there are leaders that my fingers would not be enough like to name already in SAKALA who could easily like take over if I have like to do something else. And I would tell you the example of one of our like leader who was a young girl who was pregnant as a teenager and thought that life was over for her. But now that she got a chance like to be part of SAKALA, she is now the leader with the young girls, teaching them about like self-protection, about saying no, about like empowering young girls like to do more with their skills and their capacity. And she started her own program within SAKALA, which is like Femme Saka, which literally means this woman can do a lot. And it's just one example. And Evening goes like in places like in the US, like to learn more. And people ask her like to stay. She would be like, no, I need to go back to my community so I can contribute for the real change. Wow. And I have to tell you that is something big for a young girl who is from Citie Soleil, who visit like the US. It's like seeing like a new land of opportunity and the possibility like to live the American dream. But she is like coming back, saying that her real dream is the Haitian dream and even the Citie Soleil dream, to turn what is like danger and threat right now into opportunity for all, but not just opportunity for herself. So it's just one example of young boys, young girls that I'm so proud about, who really are born leaders right now, who are making huge difference for our community. Now we have them like being the tutors of the program. We have them going to agronomy school and they're back as agronomists and they're teaching the kids the same thing. They're launching rooftop garden. They're launching all kind of ideas like where I feel like, you know what, it was a great investment because I can see that it's paying forward and we're very glad about this.
And the thing that just keeps coming through over and over again, these kids are empowered. And to come out of the situation they came out of and to be so empowered, they're more empowered than a lot of people who are growing up in privilege, who don't feel like they can do anything. And these kids are doing everything. This is phenomenal. You should be so proud of all of you and of yourself and so forth. This is phenomenal. That's the best gift you can give anyone, is to empower them. And that's what you've done. This is phenomenal.
Thank you. And I can tell you that when we decide that we can send a young kid with almost nothing from Citie Soleil, like abroad, and know that she will come back to serve, it's really because we know that they are empowered. And now what is good is that I don't have to empower the younger kids. People like Evening, people like Josma are empowering the youngest one. And it's like now I feel that it's paying forward. The empowerment like is becoming like contagious. And that's what I think that the world needs.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what is your vision? I have a feeling from you kind of implied that some of these kids are going to take over your role. And so what are you going to be doing?
Yes, now that you ask me, Diane, what will I be doing? No, I think there is a lot that can be done, and I can see actually that it's like my work in Citie Soleil. It's like it's happening. It's becoming true. I can see myself now moving like to the next neighborhood to talk about the experience here and to tell people that it's possible. Haiti is the symbol of freedom. So I can see like Citie Soleil inspiring other communities the same thing. And as not every neighborhood has someone like me who is crazy enough like to believe that it's possible, I can see myself going in the next neighborhood with the same challenge that we had or still have and move like the next one and see how we can empower other kids, other people, so they know that it's possible. It's possible like for more kids like to fly. It's possible like to have the miracle of empowerment like everywhere. So I believe that it is like my big vision right now, and I'm ready like to move like the next community and try like to bring the same success like to the to other communities that unfortunately right now are experiencing like too much a challenge.
Yeah. It happens all the time, excuse me, in business and also in organizations. Like when it starts out, like you're the heart of it and everything you do makes it happen. But then now it's different. You've empowered enough people and now you're going to train the trainers sort of. So your role has really changed a lot. How do you feel about stepping into this other role as a trainer?
Uh, it gives me like this feeling that uh, there's a lot to do
Yeah.
because like everyone that you train, you feel that these things are things that you would assume that everyone know, but it's not the case. So give that really gives me the feeling that I cannot just decide like my job is done, it's over. There is still a lot to do. Maybe not to empower young kids in Citie Soleil, but to empower more people who could go empower other people elsewhere. So with all the needs in Haiti and even in the world, I believe that I have this feeling that there is a lot to do, and I cannot just decide like to go on with retirement like just because I start growing like gray hair or gray beard. So I still need like to do a lot, and I want to continue doing this. And it's not necessarily like in Sakala, but any other Sakala that can like that can be created or that could be born elsewhere. I feel that there is a new a task for me, and I'm ready like to take this task as a new challenge.
Right. I hate to tell you, Daniel, but you're never going to be able to retire. So just write that one off because there's so many places in the world that need this kind of thing. And I know what you said about you assume that other people know how to do this. They don't. And even though it seems simple to you, all the steps that you took created this. And so it's like taking those people through those steps. So do you see this going beyond Haiti for you ever?
Not really now because I still feel that there's a lot like to be done like in Haiti, but at the same time because of the social network, the online platform, what you do with the transformation show, I can see that like something that I do here like would have like an impact in the community in Detroit because someone will be like, if this guy can do this like in Citie Soleil, why can't we do this like even with more resources like in the US? So I can see just my story inspiring other communities, but not like I have like to be the one like doing it. And where I go, sometime I give talk like to schools, and people feel like inspired and engaged to do like the next move.
Yeah.
So I see my involvement like to like a overseas like this, but there's so much like to be done like in Haiti right now that I still consider that the priority is here, and that's where the focus is.
Sure. No, that makes perfect sense, but I do see it expanding because there are people like you in doing different things. Everyone I interview is doing something phenomenal. And at some point, I want to get you all together someplace so you can share your stories and inspire other people as well. But this is something that just has to keep growing because I think we're all seeing that in general, governments are not functioning correctly. And you saw that, and the judicial is not functioning correctly. But so I think it's time for a new energy, a new way of looking at life and at community and so forth. So I think you're just at the beginning of creating that. You're one of the people who's a pioneer in creating that. Do you know what I mean about the shift in the way we're governed and so forth? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. It does. And also I'm very grateful that like you thinking about like kind of like networking like this like a crazy minded, as I call them, people who beyond all perceptions still believe that it's possible, and they don't let people stop them to do it. So I know that like it's something that needs to be done more and more because there is so many challenges, so many bridge that possibility through the transformation show. And I will be more than glad to share experiences or just to share like some like what I would call like failure, but not really failure, but just lesson that could kind of like lead us like to something bigger. So definitely it's something that we need like to continue to envision, and I can't wait like to see all this happen.
And it is. What keeps you going when things are tough? Because to do what you've done, and it's been over a period of time, it's been 9 years at least. What kept you going? Because I'm sure there were times when it looked like this was not going to happen. So what was it that you called on inside of you?
That's really a nice question, and people ask me this all the time. And because of this, I even started like this a post on Instagram and Twitter, also Facebook, that I call like where I see hope. And my hope, or where I find it, is really and sometimes something very little. I told you the story of Evening. That's my hope. Like Josma is an artist like in Citie Soleil, a young boy with very a big challenge like to learn in school, but like as an artist, he is a champion. And everyone coming like to SAKALA, he would find a way like to give you a nice bracelet, to give you like a nice piece of work that he just worked on, and the kind of like pride that he get like from doing this is my hope. And it's like sometimes it's something very simple. Yesterday, I was so stressed. I decided that I would play basketball with a few guys from different neighborhoods in Citie Soleil, and the games went with such like a fairness. Like guys would fail, someone would just help them like to raise, and it's like there was no bad words in the game. We were all laugh. And this is not something that you expect from a game in Citie Soleil. And this is where I find my hope that it's possible. People on my path give me hope. And it can be easy, like you will find me from the internet and feel like, you know what you're doing is something very important, like that needs to be shared, that can inspire people. And I feel, wow, maybe I am someone doing something good. That gives me hope. And this isn't this very tiny little thing that I kind of like sourcing myself with energy to do more. That gives me like this power, this power of one to continue to do more and more and more. So this is all these little things, sometimes insignificant, sometimes nonsense, but that gives me like this sense of doing more and feel empowered, like to keep that I am not alone. There are also many other crazy people taking my path.
So what made you think in the beginning that you could do this? What did you tell yourself? Did you really feel you could make this happen, or what was it that went through your mind at the very beginning?
Uh, I don't remember the word in English. I don't know if it's stubborn. Like I can be something like this, and I always tell people that I am not who you think I am. I grew up like in where people were saying that you from this place that nothing good can happen. And I was like, no, I know that I can actually do more than you're saying. And I wanted like to prove them wrong. And when you have a chance like to read the book I Can Fly that I wrote with my friend, you would see that it's like I feel that in this place with the challenge, we have wings to achieve wonder. And I didn't want people to tell me that it was not true. And that's exactly what lead me like to do this. And I'm very grateful to people who always see these wings in me and who encourage me like to shake them and fly. And because of this, I can go or mostly more to fly again. So it's really this desire to prove people they were wrong because I know that there was no way that it could be true. That because I was born in this community with challenges, this community with needs, this community that is neglected, that someone would tell me that I have like to end it in a gang, that I have like to be no one. I know that I worth more than this, and I know that there are more people in this community who worth more than that. And that was my really stubborn like time when I say, you know what, I will prove people they are wrong, and that's what we did. And now everyone now are seeing that this place is inspiring not only Haiti but also the entire world.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. And it's just trying to find that place in ourselves. Tell people about I Can Fly. I have the book now, and a friend of mine also has a book. So tell everybody about it, where they can get it, why you wrote it, what's in it.
I Can Fly is a short story, mostly for children, but anyone can read it, of this young boy who was told that nothing is possible in its community. It has to be constantly trash because it's located nearby the ocean where all the sewage like drive like all the trash of the city to. And this boy was stubborn enough like to say, you know what, it can't be true. I know that I can fly in places and bring back a sense of joy in my community, a sense of collaboration among the people to achieve great miracle and wonder. So that's what the book is about. And it's a book, I don't want to tell everything about the book so people don't buy it, but it's a book that you can find on Amazon right now. And it is like on Kindle. If you press like I Can Fly, and you can definitely like find it. And I think it's like $1 right now for getting the book, or $2. But I think it's possible like to just get it, and you can also get it like on paperback, which is another way people get access like to some of the readings. So it's a book that tells about kind of like a little story of inspiration or a little story of empowerment. And it's worth like reading it to understand why we believe all children in Citie Soleil have potential to do a lot if they have the right opportunity, if they have the right mother to tell them not to listen to people who are telling them no, because everything that you want, you can do it if you really believe it. And remember that all proceeds from the book goes like to keep SAKALA running. And that was a good way for us like to say, okay, we need another way like to fundraise to keep this activity going. So anyone who buying this know that it's like they're contributing like for kids in Sakala to have like something to eat, contributing like to have more balls in Sakala for girls and boys like to play, and also to continue to remain the space as the safest space in the all Citie Soleil community.
That's wonderful, and I'm enjoying it. Now, I want you, if you would be kind enough, what would you say to someone who is thinking they'd like to do something to help their community? They're not sure they can, they're not sure that they will be able to, but they're thinking about it. What would you say to them?
I like to tell them the truth, which is if Mr. Haiti Daniel Tillias can do it, everyone can do it. And I can tell you that I can be lazy. So, but if you really want to see it as a commitment to change something as little as possible so life can be easier, not only for you, but for the entire community, it's worth trying it. And I can tell you the compensation for seeing a community kind of like breathing like a new air of hope because you wanted to try something, there's no price for this. And never think that it's not possible because you don't know how many people are just waiting for one more to try this. And again, that's the name on my Instagram. It's the power of one. One has energy to transform so much, energy that you would never think about. And it takes only the first step, just like it takes one step for all journey. It takes the first step, the first move, and you would be so impressed with what your power could lead to. And I'd say it again, if I can do it, everyone should be doing it. At least that's what my wife is saying.
Well, I think you are extraordinary. So we just need to kind of put that out there. But I think you're so right that it just takes one person. So Daniel, thank you so very much for this, for taking the time to do this again, and for inspiring everybody. This is very powerful. So when this is edited, I will send you a copy to use any way you want. And I can't thank you enough for who you are, what you are doing, and what you're going to do. I can see wonderful things happening, and I'm sure you will be in touch also with the rest of the Transformations community. So thank you so much, Daniel. I so appreciate it. And thank you to our listeners for joining us on Transformations, people interviewing people, changing our world. I'm your host, Diane J. Shaver, reminding you just what Daniel said, one person, one decision, one commitment, you've got a world changer. And to bring your attention to that you have something inside of you that brought out into the world can change so many people. So I'm going to ask you to kind of think about that, and maybe next time I'll be interviewing you. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time.